So the competing agent says to the seller, I will list your property at 3.5% total. 1% for me, and co-broke it at 2.5%. So that becomes a 2.5% swing in the seller's mind. Gio's smiling, she's come across this. And I know we talked about it. So that's a 2.5.
I mean, people like them are the ones that are making us disappear.
Yep.
How can they?
Absolutely.
So, in the seller's mind, remember, in the seller's mind, it doesn't matter which agent lists the property. It's going to sell for a certain price. So in this particular point, that's a $15,000 or $14,000 swing in her favor to list with an agent who is going to list at 3.5 versus 6.
What's the listing price again?
$650.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's probably $630, $635, right in there.
So it's $12,000 to $15,000 that the seller is looking at and says, Catherine's going to cost me $12,000 to $15,000 more than this agent from Premier Plus. So let's talk. This is a very real objection that we are seeing more and more. So let's talk about, and I'm going to call on you guys one at a time just for fun. Let's talk about ways to handle that objection. Tracy, you up for it?
Sure.
Okay. So Tracy, I'll be the seller. Tracy, I appreciate you coming out, but this agent from Premier Plus is going to list it at 3.5%. They're going to keep 1 for themselves and they're going to co-broker it at 2.5. Can you do the same thing?
No, we cannot. I cannot do that. But I do have a question. If that agent is so quick to negotiate her own commission, what would it be like for you to have her negotiating on your behalf when it's your money?
Love that.
Great.
Thank you, Tracy. Good. Wade, the agent from Premier Plus is going to list it at 3.5%, keep 1 for themselves and co-broke it at 2.5. Can you do the same thing?
No, I'm not able to do that. I have a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
What are you getting? What is she providing you for the 1%?
Love that question. What do you mean?
Well, is she going to be there running Facebook campaigns for you? Is she going to be doing open houses for you? Has she committed to be there during the inspection process with you to negotiate all those repairs?
I would assume so. That's her job, right?
Have you had that conversation?
No, I just made that assumption because that's what I'm hiring her to do.
You know what happens when you make assumptions, don't you, Jan?
Thank you, Wade. Awesome. I love it. Man, you guys are on point today. Maria Varela.
Oh boy, they
this
covered.
Is all about practice. So Maria.
Yeah.
Premier Plus said they'd listed at 3.5%. Co-broke at 2.5 and keep 1 for themselves. Can you do the same thing?
No, I can't. So let me show you what I'm going to do for you. Have they shown you what they're going to do?
Yeah, they're going to put it in MLS and they said they're going to advertise it online and, sign and showings and that sort of thing.
So here's the list of everything that I'm going to do. Are they going to be there for you for every single one of those things like I'm going to be? I'm going to negotiate for you. I'm going to make sure you're priced. What have they told you that they are going to do? Have they shown you in writing?
They'll do everything that's on that list.
Well, you tell me what you don't want me to do, and I can then look at my fees. But my fees are based on everything that I'm going to do for you, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, keeping you in mind and making sure that you come out on top. And isn't that what you want, to get the most out of your property?
Good job. Good recovery on that. Juan David, are you here? I know you're
Yes.
just logging in now. All right, buddy. Do me a favor. Put your camera on. We're going to put you on the hotspot right away.
Okay. Give me one second.
You will come into this objection. I promise you.
Okay.
So here's the scenario. You are the listing agent. I am the seller. It's narrowed down to 2 people. Here is the objection. You know, Juan David, Premier Plus told me that they would list the property for 3.5%. The agent's going to keep 1 for themselves and co-broke at 2.5%. Will you do the same thing?
3.5%.
Total commission to me is 3.5%.
Okay.
Welcome to the call, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm not following up. So the total commission is 3.5%.
Yeah, they're going to charge me 3.5%, and they're going to pay the agent that sells it 2.5%, and they're going to pay, and the listing agent's going to take 1 for themselves. So I only have to pay 3.5%. Now you're charging 6. Will you do it for 3.5%?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, this is a really good one. But I would go with something like this. I understand that it's important for you to net as much money as possible with the sale of your home. I know you're cost conscious. Are you more concerned? Are you concerned about the amount that you pay on the commission or the selling price?
Both.
Both. Okay. I feel that with our marketing and the exposure that we can provide your home, that we'll be able to achieve not only a sale price that will result on that net, but also we'll be able to cover the commission expenses. If I can get you what you're currently asking for, would you list with me today?
Okay, good job. Thank you.
That was good.
And the last one,
Wow.
Giovanna.
I'm cold.
Why are you cold today?
I hate when people act like this. I get mad.
Oh,
Good. Well, that's
good.
precisely
Because
why.
I'm really pissed too.
That's
so-
precisely why I went to Mexico on this one, because we want to see some of that fire. So, Giovanna, Premier Plus said that they would list my property at 3.5%. They're going to give 2.5% to the agent that sells it and 1% for them. Will you do the same thing?
Okay, let me think about this, John. So what you're saying is that you're willing to list your property at a discount commission. So let me ask you this. If you would go to a doctor and they will tell you that you need surgery and you want to take a second opinion, would you go and have surgery with a surgeon that is giving you the surgery for a discounted price just because it's cheaper than your first option?
I like that. I like that. Catherine, ask me the question. I've got 2 that have been floating around my head. Let's see if I can get them out because I didn't write them down.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, John, I have, I'm an agent that's only going to charge me 3.5%, 1% to the listing agent, 2.5% to the selling agent. We do the same thing.
You know, Catherine, that's really interesting that somebody would do that. Do you mind if I reposition this a little bit? Let's take this from a different angle.
Sure.
Okay. So when you hire me to sell your home, you're hiring me to negotiate for you. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what you're telling me is this other agent is willing to pay the person who's negotiating against you more than they're willing to pay themselves. Is that how I should understand this?
Oh, yes.
Is that in your best interest?
No, because they'll be working for the person who's buying my home, not for me.
Are you looking for a negotiator or a facilitator?
Oh, I want a negotiator. I have to net a certain amount on my home. No,
Okay.
no questions.
There's one angle. Another angle. Catherine, have you asked the other agent what their performance is? How many of their homes that they've listed under this particular plan have sold?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So,
No, they offered, hey, listen, they offered me a discount on the commission.
and you
I
know
did
what, everybody wants a discount. You know what, in life, you always, when you're looking to do any sort of business, doesn't matter what it is, making a piece of furniture, buying a car, hiring a real estate agent, doesn't matter. It's all the same. There are 3 factors involved, and you get to choose 2 of the 3.
Well,
You
what
can
are the
have
3 factors?
Good, cheap, and fast. Take your pick. You can have 2. You can't have 3. Because guess what? If you want it good and fast, it ain't going to be cheap. If you want it cheap and good, it ain't going to be fast. If you want it cheap and fast, it certainly isn't going to be good.
Wow,
That's a good one.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, so that's okay. I understand all that. So,
okay.
would you consider? Should I choose to list with you? Would you consider discounting your commission at all?
You know what?
Like
You know what, Jen? That is a
5%? I mean,
that is a great question, and I get that all the time. And frankly, I would have been disappointed if you didn't ask. So, to answer that question, let's dig a little bit deeper. Where are you moving to from here?
oh, we're moving out of state to Tennessee, where my son is in aviation school.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So there's a couple things that we can do. You know, I've done a number of transactions just like yours. And here are the options that I gave them. So we've already discussed my fee is 6%. I'll tell you what, if I sell your home myself, and right now I sell about 15% of my own listings. If I sell your home myself, I will discount from 6% to 5%. Because you know what, frankly, it's easier for me to manage the entire transaction myself than to have someone else involved. Doesn't matter how good the other agent is or how good I am, it's just easier for one person. The old 2 cooks in the kitchen, spoil the soup kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand that. And then what's the other option?
The other option I can offer you is when you go to Tennessee, let me hook you up with an agent up there.
Oh, that'd be great. But John, we already own a property in Tennessee.
You do? Okay. So
we do. Yeah. When we found out he was going there, we knew this like 8 months ago. We went and bought something for cash like immediately. So he'd have a place to stay and get settled before school. So we already have a home there.
Well, so that rules out option B. Okay. Now option C is, as you know, I run a business. Okay.
Yeah.
And the business needs to grow. It absolutely needs to grow. So I will make a deal with you. If you can refer me one of your friends or family members that's looking to do business, and I'm able to get connected with them before we close, doesn't matter who sells it, I'll discount it. I'll discount my side of the commission by 25% for you.
That's great.
So now, do you guys, off script, do you guys see what I did with that?
Can I ask a question?
Hang on a second, Joe. Who here would pay 25% for a referral fee to another agent that gives them a referral?
Yeah.
I do it.
Right?
Yeah.
So why not get the client? If the commission objection is in there, why not get the client on your side? Who do you know locally? Got to keep it in an area that you can work. Who do you know locally that is going to be buying or selling in the near future? I'd love to meet them.
That is key with her, because I've obviously been talking to her for a long time. That right there would be key to her, because she does know people here.
Right. So you know what? Just send me one of your friends.
That's probably why didn't I think of that?
That's what these sessions are for.
That is, I will tell you of everything, that is key right there.
So there's going to be a tipping point for everybody you talk to when it comes to commissions. Now, you know what? You know what another one is? Go ahead, Catherine, ask me the same question again about Premier Plus.
Okay, John, I understand you're charging me 6%. this person over here at Premier Plus, they said they would charge me 3.5, one of them, 2.5 the other. That's a big savings for me.
Okay. She hasn't asked me a question.
So what are you going to do for me?
I'm going to sell your house. So let's go ahead and get started now. Go ahead and sign right here. Press twice, press hard, 3 copies. You just ignore it. Like it's the craziest thing you've ever heard. There's so many analogies you can use. So Jan, I can really appreciate that you want a Mercedes on a Hyundai budget. Now, make sure you know what kind of car they drive before you use something like that.
Okay, they have 2 Bentleys and a Porsche. They're pretty good.
Okay, so Jan, you obviously have no, and this is totally off script, you obviously have no problem paying for maintenance on a vehicle, since you have 3 of the most expensive cars on the planet to maintain out of the top 5. So, Jan, you obviously have good taste. I can tell by your choice of vehicles. You'd like to continue that streak, wouldn't you? Now, that's an edgy one. You're not saying it's bad taste choosing the other agent, but you are saying it's good taste choosing you.
That you're choosing me.
All right?
So would you then take it one step further with something like that and say, you drive a beautiful Bentley convertible, and something has gone wrong with it. Are you going to take it to a mechanic who specializes in Bentley convertibles, or are you going to take it to a discount place?
Exactly.
You could, yeah.
And that might work with her also, Catherine.
Yeah, that would work definitely with her her man.
So,
He's a car collector. So.
all right, so we're going to stop that